Good morning. It's Tracy Prachi with the RCAW, and we're here with Kevin Hunt for another Lunch and Learn. And we're going to just turn this right over to him and let him impart all of his great wisdom and all of the great things that Podium has to offer. So I'm going to change presenters and send them on over. Hang on 1 minute.
Great, thanks, Tracy. Get started here in just a moment. My main screen, I think it's screen 2. There we go. All right. I don't know if everybody's got their lunch. So I think the description about the webinar was fairly long, but if I summarize what it is that you'll learn a little bit about is how Podium and our software will help you stand out in a positive way from the crowd, as in, the crowd of people that you compete with, that other folks might work with. So let me just explain who I am. Not that that really matters, but I head up business development for the home services industry for Podium. I'm speaking to you today from Northern California, and I'm going to go through a number of things here. First, get you acquainted with who Podium is. Most importantly, I'm going to talk about what it is that we do and are doing for literally hundreds of roofers throughout the US and quite a few up in the Northwest. And then we'll talk about some special offers that we have for those of you that, after hearing what it is that we do, would be interested in working with us. So a little bit about Podium. We are working with quite a number of locally based businesses in the US, 55,000 to be exact, although I think it's well more than 55,000. And the other thing that's interesting is, and I'll explain how this works and how it is that 1 in 4 cell phone users in the US have actually, had or took place in, an interaction over the Podium network. So we've worked with a number of very large companies and have gotten to know the roofing business really well. You might see the Owens Corning logo here. For those of you that are Owens Corning elite contractors, you may at some point in time have attended one of our educational sessions. As we speak this morning, something like a third of the platinum contractors at Owens Corning are working with us. So I don't say that to brag, but just to give you a sense that we've learned a little bit about what it is that roofers need. If I bring it locally, here are a couple of examples of folks within the RCAW community that we've been working with for quite a while. Access Roofing, I guess bringing it even more local would be Valentine Roofing in a couple of locations they have. And so let me talk about what it is that we do. If we think about the journey or the path that a customer, and in your case the customer is going to be a homeowner, in the past, and not so long ago, right, they relied upon, or businesses relied upon recommendations and word of mouth from people. I'm guessing that a number of you get business that's referred to you by, an insurance agency right after a hailstorm or some other calamity. Well, as we fast forward to today, such as it is, so much more of what happens takes place online. And I'm not going to go through this in painstaking detail, but what we'll talk about is where we can play a part to help make sure that as today's homeowner is searching for a roofer, how it is that we help a business to get found more often and how to win more leads and ultimately get paid faster, which we found most people are super interested in. How you show up online really has a major impact on whether or not you're going to get chosen, right? A lot of studies have shown, and some recent research shows, 9 out of 10 people, as they start searching for a business, go online, and about that same number of people will actually, before they contact a business, look at the ratings and reviews and essentially the recommendations that have been posted about that business. And Podium got started as primarily a platform to help a small business to monitor reviews and ratings, but also to help make it easier to generate new ones from happy customers. Another important point, to shift to kind of the negative, about half of the people that are going online, if they don't find that the business has at least a 4-star rating out of 5 or think of it as good, they will not take any more action. They will not contact that business. And I guess a question that I would ask anybody on here is, how do you look online, right? What is your rating? As somebody in most instances is going to start their search online, most of those people are going to go on to probably Google and start there. So, how a lot of searches start is somebody's going to be looking for not just a roofer, but the best. And there's even a little science behind what happens if somebody were to type in, I want to find the best roofer near me. And what Google will do is, when somebody says best, they will only show roofers that have at least a 4-star rating. Now, I don't know if best roofer near me is the most common search term. I know it's one of the top 5. So, the question is, if somebody was to type in best roofer in, whatever city you're in, would you come up in the list of the businesses that typically comes up in a search? Google calls this the map pack. This is just an excerpt from a screen where if we saw the full screen, you'd see a map and you would see a place that designates where Valentine Roofing is as opposed to Washington or Classic Gutters. Now, this is how it looks on a mobile phone. What we know is most people these days are using their phone, could be an iPhone, could be an Android device, to do their searching, right? It's become the yellow pages. Here's that same search. And the question that I would have for anyone is, if this was the search, what roofer do you think the person typing that search in would choose? Now, we don't have the audio open, but I'm going to guess those, you wanted to take and pass the quiz, you'd say Valentine Roofing. And statistically, we know that's the case, that the roofer that shows up or the business that shows up with the best rating and reviews is the one that's going to get chosen 75% plus of the time. So, kind of lesson 1 during the Lunch and Learn is, if you don't know what your rating is and how many reviews you have, find out. And if you don't have at least a 4-star rating, you might want to keep listening because I'll share some things about how we might be able to help you out here. So step 1 is getting found, right? Most people are going online. Most homeowners are going online. An overwhelming majority of them are looking at reviews and recommendations about that business before they engage, right? And the goal online is what? I mean, it's to get somebody to come and visit you. So it's to get someone to, come to your website. And I'll give you a little hint as to one of the things that we do that we think makes it easy to connect a potential customer or current customer with a business, right? Our software platform is all based on and provides a capability for you to be able to interact using your mobile phone. Podium is an app that's downloadable, and with Podium, you're able to interact with customers, potential customers, really anyone that you want, including your team, over SMS. This has got major implications because, consider how quickly, you know, I'm guessing any of you respond to a text message that you get, or more generally, what studies show is what I'd call the hot potato. You get a text message, the average customer gets a text message. The average response of a text message is less than 4 minutes. So there's a level of ease and immediacy there. Now, we did a study recently that showed, as we looked at websites of the members' businesses, what we found is we didn't find an ability on those websites to be able to engage a customer or potential customer and to begin interacting by way of a text message. So, just 1 in 7 of you appear to have that capability. So let me talk about how Podium works, right? We're already giving you a hint. I mean, if we think about at a high level what it is that we do for businesses, we provide a means to help you get found more often online with people searching. And when you get found, to be able to increase the likelihood that you win, and convert that lead, that potential customer, and in a lot of business to help make that customer someone that comes back to do business with you again, or at least will help refer someone to you. And as I mentioned, we also provide an ability to, over our platform, get paid faster. So how do we help people get found more often? What you see on the right is the perspective of, what a homeowner would see after they've done business with, in this case, Westlake Auto. But imagine this is, your business, where after you've completed doing work, or really at any point, you, through the Podium platform, can send out one at a time or in bulk a message, that can say what you want and, include, any graphics you want. Might be the logo for your business that invites that homeowner to post a review. Across our customer population, 9 out of 10 of the reviews that actually get posted wind up on Google. So as a best practice, we typically advise that as you use the Podium platform to be able to request a review, that the first option you present is to invite somebody to post a Google review. And what'll happen as somebody says yes is we're able to detect cases where those homeowners have a Google account. And if they do, we will take them immediately to the Google My Business page for the business, where, as you can see here, they're able to post a rating and reviews, and they're done. It's fast, it's easy. And as a result of this, what we know is people that use our platform to generate reviews get a very high conversion of requests to reviews. So if you want to get found more, remember, 9 out of 10 people are going online, and 9 out of 10 are consulting and looking over ratings and reviews before they contact the business. And we can make it very easy for you to generate more reviews. And what we know from studies we've done, we're about to do our annual study, is that the businesses, and this is just looking at in the world of home services, so it's mainly contractors. What we know is those that use Podium do get found more. These are data points that we were able to surface last fall when we looked at the impact of Podium within 90 days of a customer working with us. Twice as many people clicked from the Google search results to call the business. Almost twice as many people visited the website. And in a case where businesses had actually a location to visit, could be a showroom where somebody's going to buy interior exterior products, twice as many people clicked on directions. So what we know, and this was a study we did last fall, we'll do it again, across literally thousands of customers, is those customers using Podium got found a lot more online. Okay, now how is it that we help win more leads? Well, I'll review this again. Part of it is in the fundamental nature of our platform and the method by which we allow you to interact with your customers. So here is what Podium looks like, or could look like, on a website. Again, you see somebody doing a search. They're on Green Lake Roofing's site in Santa Ana, and this is the kind of standard process that we can put in place to make it easy for, in this case, somebody who's clicked on what we call the web chat and to send a message to Green Lake Roofing. And when this happens, Green Lake Roofing now has the information from Kate and her phone number, and Kate now has Green Lake Roofing's information saved, and there's a couple of other things happening here, right? So Kate has found her way to Green Lake Roofing on the website, and she started her conversation there. But we enable Green Lake Roofing to continue conversing or interacting with Kate just by sending a text message. So this doesn't require that Kate go back to the website to communicate with Green Lake Roofing. At Green Lake Roofing, they now know how to reach Kate, right? So they can text Kate. If you look on the form here, there's a disclaimer that says, by filling this out, you're giving us permission to contact you. So we make that very easy. And what results here is that we're able to take a conversation, right, that is started online. Again, remember I said that 90% of homeowners are going online to look at reviews and they're going online to search. Well, they don't buy from you online, right? Eventually that's coming offline. So this is where we start to help make it easier for you to interact and connect with customers by making it easy, in this case, for Green Lake to continue interacting with Kate just by texting back and forth. So, it's not time limited. I don't have to go to Green Lake's website. Something else we provide is, let's say that, those of you that have a Facebook page, we provide an ability for somebody that may be visiting you on Facebook, or maybe you have an Instagram page, to be able to take a message that comes in from, in this case, a consumer that has gone to Any Hour Services Facebook page, and that message will be managed, if you will, in the Podium platform, and actually the Podium inbox. And the graphic that is cycling through here is showing how Podium can help make it easier for businesses to manage messages that are coming in from different places, right? The first example I showed was somebody texting, right, the website. We just talked about Facebook. A more basic capability we provide that's taken advantage of by most customers is to take the phone number of your business and to allow you not just to have people call you on that number, but to text you on that number. And what we're able to do in the inbox, and if you look here at the screen, is much like Gmail or in any email, you're able to see messages that come in. You'll see where they've come from, and you'll be able to reply to the person that texted you on the website, or decided to message you from Facebook, or texted your main phone number, all in one inbox, all in one place, and we'll notify you the minute a message comes in. So this is a very appealing feature of our messaging platform, namely to be able to manage the interactions and the people that want to reach you from, whether it's social media sites or your Google listing or your website, all in one place. And the result of that is you're going to be able to manage conversations and interactions with far less effort. So how do we help a business to get more referrals? Well, we think above all else, we're providing a way for your customers to interact with you in a very easy and convenient way. Again, text messaging is kind of the basis of how you are able to interact with customers, and Podium can make that happen. You know, I would say when you look at how many people walk around and have a device that enables text messaging, and combine that with how easy it is for even the novice to engage in text messaging, what you have is a consumer experience that is not only convenient, but it's easy and efficient, and it kind of takes the friction out of it. It makes it really easy for folks to interact. The goal is, and what we're trying to provide is to give you an ability to create that one-on-one experience with your customers or potential customers without being there. And some of the things that we're able to do are to help automate messages that today take you a lot more time and effort. One example might be to be able to generate an appointment confirmation and to have that go out a day before or a couple of hours behind an appointment. Depending on the business, we can do that on a more real-time basis to know that, within, as somebody is actually dispatched and on their way to the home, we have an ability to, have Podium automatically generate a message that lets them know, in this case, that Matt is on his way to, visit Natalie. We also make it very easy for businesses to be able to collect feedback. I mean, I talked about ratings and reviews, but if you're a company that prides yourself on your reputation and delivering a high level of customer service, we make that as easy as I could imagine, and hopefully you might, to be able to collect feedback. So what you see here is our survey or feedback mechanism that basically enables you to stay on top of, your net promoter score, a very common index to tell you how likely it is that people are going to recommend you to another customer. Something else that's a new capability, and we announced this in April, is an ability to, as you see here, be there virtually. So within the Podium messaging system, you can initiate a person-to-person, video call, spontaneously, right? What you see cycling through here is, as I have the Podium app open, I'm able to send an invitation to whomever it is that I want to interact with over video. And there's no downloading of Zoom or GoToMeeting. All that's needed on the other end is that, that smartphone has a browser built in, which all smartphones do, or if somebody happens to, receive that invitation on their desktop. So, when I talk about creating a one-on-one experience, part of it is being able to, keep a customer or a client up to date on, reminding them about an appointment, letting them know that somebody's on the way, or in a case where it might be, maybe earlier on where there's, a great distance between you and that potential customer, to be able to set up a video call, to be able to do a quick survey of the work that they need done, before dispatching somebody to go out and do a more involved estimate. The goal that we help achieve for our businesses is to allow that business to become, a trusted contact in the phone, right? From the point that, we saw that text message sent to Green Lake Roofing, I now at Green Lake Roofing, have the phone number of the person texting me. And if I take care in the message that I send back to that customer and, take advantage of the different capabilities we have to provide, different ways to communicate, you will become a trusted contact, and hopefully, turn that prospective customer into somebody to do business with you, and that customer that you've done good work for, to turn them into a referral. Last but not least, another capability that's fairly recent with Podium and is now being used by literally tens of thousands of businesses is to request a payment using Podium. So what you see here is a screenshot of what I would see as a customer of, in this case, Dream Cleaners, who's been sent a request to pay them. In effect, we're acting as the payment processor. And today, the scenario that we're able to address is one where the credit card, is not present, right? Where you've done the work, and if it's your practice to send an invoice to somebody to pay, we can provide an alternative there where you can send that invoice using Podium, and that customer receiving it can decide, how to pay, whether it's by way of a credit card or, somebody could even do an ACH transfer at rates that are super competitive with traditional credit card processors. Basically a tick under 2.5%. So 2.49% is the processing fee. We have just begun testing of actual Podium terminals that can be used in an office or can be taken on the road to be able to process payments where you would prefer on a customer to actually swipe a card. But this payments processing feature has become a real hit among our home services customers, especially, and 9 out of 10 customers that we've added as new customers since April have added this payments capability. So I'll wrap things up and then open it up to questions. I hope that in the last 20 minutes, you've gotten a sense of some of the things that we can do to help provide a capability for your business to get found more often by those that are searching for a roofer or a service company to do some work, and how in applying capabilities we have can help you to win more leads, right? If that person that is not a customer is coming to your website or calling your business to be able to provide you with a means to convert them to a customer at a higher rate, and to give you an ability to create a more convenient and easy and satisfying experience for that customer to interact with you, and for you at any point in time to stay on top of exactly how people feel about you, and when it's time to ask them for review. So what does this cost? Podium is software. It's all in the cloud. So I don't know if you folks are familiar with how cloud software works, but it works by way of a subscription. So what we've been talking about here would be the advanced platform. We have a more basic platform that provides the messaging capability and the ability to generate and manage reviews. The advanced platform has all of that, in addition to that web chat feature to put Podium web chat on the website, and as you saw with Westlake Roofing, to provide a very easy and convenient means for that homeowner to be able to contact the business. So our standard pricing is thus: for RCAW members through the end of this year, got some fairly substantial discount on the advanced platform, along with there being no charge to build and set up the account and get everything operating within the business. Podium is priced on a per location instance, so there's no surcharges for the amount of messages you send, or the amount of people you send a feedback request to, or the amount of review requests you send out. So there's no limit on the quantity of messages that you can take in or send out on the platform. Now, we also have a version of Podium, a fully featured version of Podium called Starter, that doesn't cost any money. There's a limit with Starter on how many messages you can send back to customers a message being a response to an incoming chat from the website, a message asking for review, a message to remind somebody about an appointment. And that quantity of messages for the average business will last anywhere from 2 to 3 months, depending on, how much you use the platform. So, standard Podium is roughly a $5,000 a year investment. But for those of you that, think, wow, that sounds interesting, I'd love to be able to try it for myself. And, before I begin and become a subscriber and can use, Podium software with no limits on messaging, I wanted to share that, we have this version called Starter to allow for folks that, want to try it out, where they're not sure if their team will embrace this or their customers are. I can assure you that, we have a proven solution, but this option is here for those that want to try before they buy. So that's an option as well. So when I think about the stand out in a crowd, I think we do more than that, right? But what we know that we can deliver to customers or potential customers like you is a means to help you generate more business, and at the same time to be able to, at least, for those of you that have a strong brand as it's represented online, and think brand and the ratings and reviews you have and what people are saying about your business, we provide a means to, even take you up a notch from wherever you might be and to make it easy. And what we also know and hear a lot from our customers is that we make it easier to do a lot of what was manual, whether it's sending a request or reminder to somebody about an appointment, or to be able to, upon a job being done, to have a message that goes out in conjunction with that includes the invoice and has to get paid. And again, what you're going to get with Podium, all modesty aside, is a solution that has been proven and is in use by hundreds of thousands of users, but tens of thousands of businesses, and I guess most importantly, literally hundreds of folks in the roofing and home services business, which I'd assume all of you folks are involved in some way, shape, or form. So with that, I want to pause and open it up for any questions that anyone may have. I think for those of you that, and I don't know if we can open up the audio, Tracy, or to let folks know that if they go into their control panel into chat, they can just type in a question. So are there any questions, Tracy, that have come in during the presentation?
Yes, we have several. So the first one is, can you control who receives the text message from the contractor's side?
Absolutely. You get to decide, who you're sending the message to, and you can also control within your business. Maybe you want to give your team an ability to see all the messages, but not to be able to interact. So we have a way to set things up for, kind of the owner of a business, a manager in the business, and then the team. So there's the ability to have different kind of access levels as well. You decide who you're going to send a message with and interact with, if that makes sense.
Okay, the next one. How smart is the chatbot?
Oh gosh, well, the standard chatbot that we have looks at the message and it will put it into a mailbox that we think makes sense, right? And the standard ones that are set up for sales, customer service, or general information. So as you, let's see, I'm gonna go see if I can go live. There's always a risk here. We'll go to Valentine Roofing's website, we can program not only the response on the site. I don't want to leave that. Whoops, I don't want to leave the webinar. So here is, Podium's web chat, right? So the message that shows up here, you decide what it is. You decide what the image is. You decide what message shows up here and what message gets sent back. Now, behind the scenes, the web chat can be set up to have certain responses sent automatically depending on the words that are in the actual message that comes in. So I don't want to get, too overly complex here, but there's a lot that we can train the chat bot to do. But what the top line objective, and the reason why people find our chat so compelling, is the minute somebody, if I was to send a chat message to Valentine Roofing, that message would come in to my cell phone just as you get notified when a new text message comes in, and that's going to come up on my phone. And just as, if any text message would come in on my phone, when I click on that, I'm going to be taken right in, and I'm going to be able to interact with that customer instantly. So what we advise businesses to do is to make sure that you have somebody standing by to interact with that customer, or you make sure that there's a message on the chat bot that says, we'll get back to you within a couple of hours. And even to be able to switch the message to, during an after hours period that might let somebody know if it's an emergency, please call this number or text this number, but know that, when we open back up at 7 a.m., we'll be responding. So there's a lot of capability to configure this, to configure how chat works. And, there's almost an unlimited number of possibilities to, make the chat bot smarter. But, think of it this way, what we know is there's a high likelihood and a high level of engagement that you're going to be able to get when somebody initiates a chat with you using Podium, because you're going to be instantly notified on your mobile phone that a message has come in. Make sense?
Okay, the next question is, on pricing that was shown, is that a monthly rate?
Yes, it is. So these are monthly prices.
Okay. Are there any requirements that a website needs in order for the chatbot to be used?
It's actually quite easy. To get web chat set up, it literally takes 5 minutes for us. There's a little bit of code. It's called JavaScript, and as part of the onboarding process, we will actually set that up. Or if you happen to be working with an agency that you like to get involved whenever you're making changes to the website, we can work with them. But to get web chat set up literally takes minutes. Very, very easy for us to do.
Okay, the next one is, for the payment system, is there any way to have automated payment requests sent out monthly? I would assume like a statement is what they're talking.
Yes, so we can, one of the things we just added in October was the ability to get recurring payments, right? So, or there might be a scheduled payment, but you can set up the payments system to be able to send out recurring invoices for, those jobs, where that happens, right? Could be home services work or whatever. But yeah, so, one-time payments, yes, but also it can be programmed to send out a recurring request for a payment.
Okay, and going off of that, how does the money post to the contractor? And do you have a QuickBooks plugin, or do you transfer the money as an ACH directly into the contractor's bank?
Okay, so the way that the processing works is, I believe our settlement time is, it's within like, 24 hours. And what'll happen is if somebody pays you using the Podium payment system, you'll receive the payment less the processing fee. And all of that information about who you sent the payment request to and when it came in is retained within Podium. And it can be, in essence, forwarded to QuickBooks. So we just recently announced an ability to push, payment requests and payments posted from Podium into QuickBooks. And you can also output an Excel-based or delimited file that you could import into whatever system you might be using other than QuickBooks to manage payments. But within the platform, you can see in the payments dashboard who you've sent payment requests to, who has paid you. You can program it to send reminders to all those that are 14 days past due, right? So there is a kind of a basic ability to work through the platform to send reminders and to, in one place, see all the payment requests that have come out and come in. But again, there is integration with QuickBooks, and then also the ability to kind of export all the information about who you've requested a payment from and who's paid you as well.
Okay, the next question is there a Spanish version of this or only in English?
Just English right now. One of the things we're working on in 2021 is to be able to have a bilingual platform, but right now, just English. But we're actually working with a very, very large distributor that is kind of helping to lead the charge on developing a bilingual version of a lot of what you would see as on a website or in the Podium interaction between a business and a consumer.
Next question, what roofing softwares do you currently integrate with or plan to be integrating with?
So we have integration with something on the order of 70 different CRM systems. And I would say if there's a specific request about a platform, if we don't have integration developed, we can build it pretty readily so long as that software has what are called APIs, which is short for an application programming interface, that will allow us to build in the most common automation that people see when they're using Podium and large home services, but might be Service Titan, right? Where as a job is done, that results in a review request being sent out automatically and potentially a request for payment happening shortly thereafter. So, we are constantly adding more, software platforms where we can deliver integration and, automation, right? So, I'd say if there's a specific request, can respond to that through a direct message later on, and I'll share my email address here in a moment.
Okay, next question is, once a review goes through your software, how long does it take to show up online?
So if, generally speaking, let's say on Google, from the time that somebody posts the review to the time that you'll see it show up, that can happen really almost instantly. Google has a certain period where they do that attribution pretty rapidly. So we're somewhat beholden to how fast Google can process it. But if you were to look in the Podium dashboard, within 5 minutes of somebody posting a review, you would be able to see, you'd be notified that the review's been posted, and you'd be able to go in through the Podium dashboard to actually see the review. and potentially even respond to the review in Podium without having to log into, your GMB messaging page, for example. So it's very fast.
Okay, and then can you use Podium on your desktop as well? So like if you have someone in the office that is doing this?
Yes, and that's typically the way it's set up, right? There's, how Podium's operating within, the main office. And along with that, there's an app that provides all the same capabilities of Podium that are available on the desktop.
Okay. Can you be notified automatically if a review is below 4 stars?
Yes, can set up. You basically decide when you want to be notified. When a good reviews happen, right? A 4 or 5 star, or to be notified when a review with less than 3 stars. So you set that preference in Podium.
So what happens if you get a 3-star review? Is that held if that's on your list, so you have time to respond to the customer, and then maybe they will re-review you at a higher rate once you take care of the issue?
Yeah, so again, what we're doing is providing a means for somebody to post a review on a third-party site like Google site or Facebook. So we don't, that review and the content actually is sitting on Google site. And, what we provide in Podium is a way to, respond to that review instantly, to get notified that it's happened instantly. And, what's inevitable is, if you're a business that's around for a certain amount of time, you're not going to get a 5-star review from everyone that you ask to post a review. And the key is that you respond in a way that all can see, right? That you're a responsive business and that you, like any other business, aren't perfect. So there's no way to remove the review using Podium, but we think we provide an ability to instantly notify you and to interact with the person that's posted that review. And ultimately, the person that posts the review is the only person that can withdraw it, except in a case where, as a business, you might say, that Kevin Hunt posted a review that is totally false and bordering on slanderous. I want you to take a look at that, Google, and take it down, and Google will take it down.
Okay. But if you respond and then the problem gets worked out, do they have the ability to change the review through Podium, or do they do that through Google?
They would do that through Google, right? So to repost the review, it would come back through, Google. We wouldn't repost the review. So you could send out another review request using Podium, but again, it's not like we hold the review. That we provide an ability to post it and to interact with the person that has posted it. And if that, ultimately only the person that posted it can take it down, or again, yeah.
Fair enough. And I think that is the end of questions, unless anybody has any other ones they want to pop in there real quick. I think we've gotten to the end of the questions.
Great.
So I want to thank you so much, Kevin, for all of this great information.
Great. And on the screen here, and can also get this in a follow-up to everybody that attended, right, is our account manager for the Northwest, if you will, in Washington, and specialist in the roofing business is Scott Sobey, and he could be reached by way of a text message or this here. My email would be kevin.hunt@podium.com. Should there be anyone that had a follow-up question that they weren't able to ask during the webinar, but as I think, and Tracy will share this, the content of this webinar will be shared and accessible on both the YouTube channel for RCAW and also on the website. So we hope to have a chance to interact with you folks, and that you'll maybe at least say, hey, let's set up a Podium starter account and let's try this out for the next 2, 3, 4 months. That'd be terrific.
That would be awesome. And if you go to the members clubhouse with your password that you also used for the coupon code today, you can get more information on Podium, and that this webinar will be up there as well. So you'll be able to rewatch it and answer any questions that maybe you missed something or what have you. I also wanted to let you know that the next Lunch and Learn is on the 27th at 11 a.m. And we're going to be joined by Jennifer Richards, our safety director. And she is going to be talking about a new fall restraint and fall arrest law that went into effect on October 1st. So pretty important stuff. She's going to do it in 2 parts because it's a big change for everyone. So hopefully you'll join us. And again, thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.